So let's do this, guys. PtitDrogo versus Denver. Thank you for sitting through the break as we got the videos done and all the rest of it. As we have got the blue Protoss player to the bottom right hand side from my Insanity. This is PtitDrogo. And to the top left hand side, our purple Zerg from Romantic Gaming. This is Denver. So far undefeated in this Group A of the competition, the WardiTV Invitational number 3. Powered by Sneak Energy. Again, do check out our sponsor, Sneak Energy, ! Sneak in the chat to find out all you need to know about our sponsors that help to make this event a reality. Big shout out to those guys. And do keep checking out their link, keep checking out their product. If you want my own recommendation, I would check out the blue raspberry flavour. It's pretty awesome. It's an energy drink that you mix with water. And it's fun. It's cheaper than usual energy drinks. It's a bit better for you than a lot of energy drinks. It's 0 calories, or 0 sugar. But also very low calories. I think 12 calories per serving. So it's pretty sick. Top left hand side is Denver, bottom right hand side is Drogo as we set up into backwater for map number 1. What's up in the chat, Shifty1212? How you doing today, mate? Hope you're doing well. As we do just see the hatch, gas and pool setting up here in the early stages for Denver. If I answer a question in the chat, I'm going to take the bait. The reason we have a English only speaking rule in the chat, guys, for a couple of reasons. First of all, we foster an English community here, and so we generally ask that you speak only in English, and also it means that we can moderate everything that is said. Our mods do not speak every language in the world, and it is the same for all languages. We don't allow people to speak European languages, you know, whatever. We don't allow any other languages other than English in the chat. It's not just Korean, and it's very simply so we can moderate everything. It's so we can keep the chat focused on English, which is what we do in the chat. Our chat is an English community. There is a Korean chat room even, because we do know a lot of Koreans like to talk in Korean. We have a Korean chat room set up for Korean viewers if they would like to use it. So we have made that a possibility, but we do like to keep the main chat in English so that we can talk way through. So, with that said, guys, we are going to be continuing on and along and looking to see what's going to be happening up next, as we do have Link Speed coming through a Stargate on the way down, and we just get set up and rolling in the next few moments with this game, looking to see what the players are going to bring for us here today. Probe comes on over towards the right hand side, starts mining away once again, and Adept will pop out, and the Cybernetics core is going to be continuing with that warp gate. It's a Phoenix first here, and we've been seeing this a lot just to push away the Overlords nice and quickly in the games, and then into an Oracle as a follow-up. So Phoenix on its way out, and from Denver, obviously no real tech choices made just yet for him, as we wait to see how our player, who's been undefeated so far, is going to continue pushing out the games. You actually haven't seen much of Denver, right? Did we recast? We just casted Ephemeral Denver the end of game 3. Did we cast we didn't cast Namshar Denver. We didn't cast Denver Dandy. This is actually the first time we've really properly seen Denver all day, even though he could finish first in the group, which would be pretty sick. So, anyways, we see this Phoenix just continuing to make its way through this, and we're going to be getting rid of this Overlord. And Overlord does go down, and a lair on the way up in the top left-hand side of the main base. So lair coming through the Nexus on the way down, coming in towards the third. Obviously, backwater allows for very fast third bases to be taken, because you have just this one entrance to the natural, which also protects the third base. So, in general, you can just expand a little bit faster over there. I mean, an expansion coming down before warp gate or anything. You don't have to set up pylons as much over here, for example. You don't have to get kind of choke points set up for adepts to sit in. It's just straight up and simple, a position you can hold much easier than in other games. Why does Denver become second if he loses 1-2? He doesn't. If he wins a map, he finishes this group in first place. It's going to be seeing this Queen lifting up the being lifted up by the Phoenix here, allowing the Oracle to come on in and getting a couple more kills. So just getting some a little bit more damage done here over the next couple of moments. As we continue to get on along. Just going to see that Phoenix poking away at the Overlord again. But we do have a big shout out to make Mythbuster on the channel, coming in with a $100 donation. Guys, can we get some love in the chat for Mythbuster? Some Wardy hearts, because that's a huge donation coming through. $100 out of nowhere. Mythbuster, my man, hope you're doing well. I want to give a special shout out to Mythbuster as well, by the way. Just before this Warp Prism and Extra Gateway gets really aggressive here from Drogo. Because Mythbuster, actually, if you guys remember my birthday stream, someone told me they would donate $500 if their balloon stayed up until the end of the stream. And I remember Mythbuster actually came in and asked me, hey, as the status ward goes down, Mythbuster came in and asked me, hey, did that guy deliver or did he not? And I was like, oh no, but you know, it was just a bit of a meme, whatever. I don't care. Mythbuster straight up said, hey, that's not cool. So I'm going to donate you $500 over the next few months, or the next few weeks as my money allows for it, to make up for that guy that didn't deliver on his bet or his promise or whatever. And he stood up to his word. Not even donating on stream, not even looking for any kind of thanks or anything for it. Just straight up donating through PayPal off stream, which is obviously something that just isn't really heard of at all. So can we get a big round of hearts and love in the chat for Mythbuster, guys? A $100 donation right here, and has been an esports hero over the last couple of months as well. Thank you, Mythbuster, for being, again, a hero of the esports world. Get some woody hearts in the chat, guys. But now we do have to talk a little bit more about this game, because things are heating up with this Warp Prism on the top side. A couple of Archons jumping into the Prism. 6 Zealots are out here, and they are going to get ready to run on forwards and maybe attack in towards this 4th base in the next few moments. And we are going to be seeing the couple of Archons getting ready to drop in towards the main, so going to be warping in here as well while the rest of the Zealots may be running towards the 4th. It's a good little bit of multi-pronged. Let's see how this goes, as we do see a little bit of damage being done. Already going to be seeing those roaches being pushed back here. Zealots on the 4th base are actually looking to just straight up get the kill right now, as Denver is continuing to be pushed away for the moment. Drones all over the place trying to split up against the Archon splash damage. That 4th base goes down, a Stasis Ward even coming in. Denver's just going to type out GG. He can't get himself the unit tomorrow, so if you would like to get your hands on it, become a subscriber. It's consistent replay packs as well. It's not just going to be that one. You get replay packs throughout the rest of the month. We generally send out 2 replay packs a month with 200 plus replays in them, so you're generally looking towards 300 to 500 replays a month at the most. So at minimum is generally what we send out. We label them all as well, so you can find the games, we can find the players very easily, and all the rest of it. So I guess we can check that out, as we do have to the top left hand side our red Protoss player is PtitDrogo from My Insanity. And to the bottom right it is going to be our purple Zerg player from Romantic Gaming Denver, down 0-1 in this best of 3. Probe coming along, looking to see what's happening here in the early stages of game number 2. And again, thank you so much everyone for tuning in today. Over 2,000 viewers we picked up during that last game, which is just amazing for the Invitational here. Really great to see. The viewership has actually just been insane lately. So thank you so much for all the viewership and everything else that you guys are doing to support the channel and the StarCraft 2 world. It's a busy time as well. We have so much StarCraft. We have so much StarCraft that's just like on nowadays. Like GSL Super Tournament starts tomorrow. We have some more stuff going. Like Nation Wars is happening every day. It's just truly crazy. So excited to see how things continue along. And yeah. I had a question in the chat. I'm not sure who asked it, but someone was asking if I'm streaming tomorrow or Friday. So tomorrow I'll be streaming at 3 PM CEST, so about 22 hours from now, with Group B of the WardiTV Invitational. And then Friday I'm not going to be streaming. I'm actually going away this weekend. I'm actually going away to the lakes with some of the UK SA2 lads. We're going away for like a little weekend away, so I'm actually taking a bit of a weekend off because I didn't have a weekend off for Easter. So I'm away Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but back on Monday. But I will be live tomorrow, guys, so I'll be here tomorrow if you guys want to come and hang out and watch some more awesome StarCraft 2. And yes, Shifty, the Diablo poster in my background is indeed a female necromancer. I bought it at BlizzCon. That's pretty cool. I like it. Phil Flotch coming in with the 15-month resub. How you doing? 15 years! Guys, let's see some love for Flotch in the chat with the 15-month resub. Thank you very much for the 15 months. Appreciate the continued support as always, mate. Hope you're having a good one, and hope your Easter weekend was fantastic as well. As we do see the Stargate coming up in the top of the main base, and we do see a pylon coming down, has to cancel, trying to really block this for as long as possible. He's just going to go from pylon to really slow down this third base. Popping and popping. And we are going to be seeing this Adept coming over, so that's why he was actually throwing down extra pylons, because eventually the Adept shows up and is able to chase away those Lings and it gets the drone kill. So that's very nicely done. Really nicely done, actually. That's wonderful. Shades away as well. So that's very nicely done right there, and we are going to be seeing, well, just good damage here with the initial Adept, really slowing things down. And we are going to be seeing another gateway just filling in the front. The Phoenix is out, and we wait to see what Drogo is going to be going for here in game number 2 of this best of 3 series right now, as we look to continue onward with some more action. This Phoenix picking away at that Overlord at the moment. We're going to be seeing the Lair is currently on the way up, so the Lair coming down, and obviously that's just the next sort of tech path here as well, as we continue onward. What's up, Flotch? Gifting a sub to Buff. Buff, welcome back to the Wardy fam, mate. Thank you very much, Flotch, for your first ever sub gift to the channel. Really do appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for continuing to support beyond the 15 months. Going above and beyond right there. Thank you so much. There's 2 Adept shit into the natural expansion, looking for a couple of drone kills. Gets 1, gets 2. Evo Chamber block to slow things down, and it will work. 3 workers killed, and that should be, ooh, maybe a 4 fire. It's hard to target fire when they're all stacked up like that, though. And that's going to be all good. So a few workers getting taken down, but again, a clean up on the Adepts eventually. Just look how late this third base is, though. I mean, this started at, what, after 4 minutes? Usually you see this coming down at like 3:20 or so. So that's pretty crazy, the fact that this is coming in after 4 minutes. It's a great delay by Drogo initially. And now going into charge, Chrono Boost Nat Robo coming down, and this is maybe looking very, very similar to what we were seeing earlier as well. So let's see how this is going to be going, as we have got the charge being Chrono Boosted, a couple of gates extra. I mean, very similar to the last game, but he doesn't have a Templar Archives yet, but that is obviously something that can be added on in time to still potentially come on through in the near future. So let's see what happens as we're going to be seeing this Phoenix coming into the main base. Queen starts to go down, and we are going to be seeing the Oracle getting a few of these workers, and actually really finding some damage. 4 workers going down again. Nice little bit of something. And Group Spines meanwhile on the way up from Denver over here. So just going to be seeing the Hydras coming up. We're going to be seeing the Templar Archives ready to go. Someone was talking about, Insidious Apricot was asking about the build in the last game. Well, this is pretty much a replica of it. The 6 gates going in towards the 3rd Nexus, something that Classic really developed here. 6 gates rather than 4 to be aggressive with. And we'll see what he can get done, although he's actually not being as aggressive this time. The Warp Prism, well, maybe he is. The Warp Prism's a bit later, though, so he isn't actually moving across the map. You know, last time he warped in everything with the Prism, right? But it's a smaller map, so on this map you can get away with a later Prism, and then just kind of walking across a little bit more instead. As we are going to be seeing the couple of Archons coming in. The Zealots have already trapped that Queen, and this is a big push right now. Lings and Hydras on the way up. Is that enough to defend from Denver? We are about to find out. Those Archons are going to be absolutely crucial here. Sporecrawler coming in. It's actually more important than you might think, because denying the Prism would be amazing. But the Prism avoids it, and now already Drogo is in a position where he can fight around this. The Evo Chamber sets up a good wall off, though. And Drogo pulling back, he really needs to get himself a warp in, maybe even of High Templar for more Archons, but I don't think he's got the time, so he has to warp in more Zealots for now. We see extra Zealots coming through, but some of them go onto the Sporecrawler, which is not really ideal. You want them at the front here fighting the rest of these units, and that just doesn't quite happen, as we are going to be seeing Drogo is going to be running out of time. He has to start backing the way. Yes, he's got the 3rd Nexus up, but he didn't make any more probes until just now. So he's going to have to make a few more, but he did keep Denver at only 48 workers. If you can survive this counter-attack, it's definitely a playable position from Drogo. I mean, there's no 4th base from Denver. He isn't on an amazing worker count. It's definitely something you can play forwards from. Yes, it's not ideal, but it's definitely not game over just yet. Just going to be seeing the few more Zerglings coming in. It's a lot of Lings, but the Archons obviously make a big difference in this. Prism isn't at home to micro around, and we will see the Prism maybe getting ready to get into action in the main base. It was very successful in previous games, this Prism so far today. As we are going to be seeing the few Hydras just sat over to the right-hand side, just waiting to try and deny that from coming on forwards. So, I mean, even still, though, just having the Prism on the map, right, it means that these Hydras are over here defensively rather than being in an aggressive location instead. As we're going to be seeing, the Zealots will just drop down and trade shields for a couple of Ling kills. I mean, why on earth not? Prism is there to micro it, and of course, Drogo's confident enough in his micro to drop down there and fight just for a moment or two. Warwick and Sentry, so definitely looking towards another push here. I mean, you've got to look at this from the other point of views as well. He has no Forge, he has no further upgrades coming in. He's looking as though he wants to end this soon still. No 5th and 6th gases taken on the third base. He's, you know, yes, he's made this a kind of a worker mineral line, but it's not going to be much more than that. You know, he's getting a little bit more income to set up into a couple more gates, but he definitely is still looking towards being aggressive and attacking in the near future. So we are going to be seeing some of these units coming out through the center of the map right now. A few Archons, a couple of Mortals, the Sentries and the Zealots mixed in as well, of course. Already the first Archon here is picking away at a few of these Creep Tumors. 3 Creep Tumors going down, and we are going to be seeing a few more of them getting picked away at as well. Just going to be seeing a few Lings coming in from the right-hand side, and we have got the Zerglings able to be taken down right there. So again, some good damage being dealt by Drogo as we see Archons coming forwards. Able to clean up even more of this creep at the moment. A lot of the creep actually going down right here, so he's getting a lot done, and even these Overlords, that's actually huge. A supply block for Denver. Well, his Lurker Den is up though, and those Lurkers are going to be very difficult to deal with. I mean, that supply block though is huge, and maybe Drogo just doesn't want to fight here. Maybe it's just time for him to back away and be happy that he supply blocked his opponent and slowed things down a little bit. It could be, it may not seem amazing, but again, it's that idea of you forcing units out, you're keeping the worker counts around even. You know, the Zerg isn't on that insane, like 70 to 80 worker count that you usually would want to be. He's really being kept much lower because of the aggression throughout the game. There's a lot of Zealots set on the right-hand side, by the way, as Drogo gets ready to defend on his 3rd and 4th bases. A few Lings are already maybe looking to force that cancel. Drogo's looking to come up this ramp on the left side. There is the Lurkers. The Observer somehow doesn't go down, but he does pull everything out of position, and that might be a dead 4th base. Yeah, dead 4th base is good enough right now. His own 4th base going down, but he can rebuild, but he needs to get rid of that Overlord, which is spreading creep. A frustration at the moment. Hydra's out of position. Lurkers, though, still here, and that's going to be one of the reasons to be able to kind of just hold this ramp. That's one of the reasons that Drogo can't get much more done. Drogo unable to move up the ramp at all there, unfortunately. And we are just going to be seeing the Psystorm is going to be finishing up in a few moments' time. +1 attack being chrono boosted on the Forge, and Hydra's coming forward as they do pick off an Immortal. That's also nicely done. +2 missiles, halfway done at the moment as we see more Archons, Immortals, Sentries and Zealots all the way up the left-hand side here. Again, a few more Hydras and Lings coming up towards the top right. And a few cannons coming in on the right-hand side of the 3rd base. We'll see this Overlord gets taken down nice and quickly, and as this creep dissipates just a little bit, it is going to allow for Drogo to take his 4th. After killing the 4th of his opponent, Denver is only just now rebuilding that, so let's see what happens here in the next few moments. Another couple of Lurkers coming in. And we're going to be seeing Lings, Hydras, Lurkers trying to push on through and maybe get some revenge for losing that 4th base. Drogo has Storm now, that's going to help, but it's still a lot of Lurkers, and these Hydras and Lurkers are going to put themselves between the bases, which really forces the issue here. Those first Lurkers getting some damage done. Storms on the ramp is huge, though. Is there enough Immortals here? Oh, I mean, the Lurkers are running low in numbers, honestly. The Hydra count is actually very battered and withered away at as well. I mean, those Hydras are going to start dropping very quickly. If the Immortals can just stay alive a little while... Oh, it's so close. Denver's starting to really break through, though. Another Storm? I mean, so many of these Hydras are so low. It really is just kind of like a second or two away from like so many of them dying. And while this doesn't look beautiful for Drogo right now, I don't want to say he's going to be able to come back and fight this, but look how low some of these Lurkers are. Look how low so many of these Hydras are. If he can just stay away for long enough, maybe he can flank in and get something done. He comes forward with an Immortal, but that goes down. Maybe the flank in with the Zealots from all directions will be good enough. There comes the Lurkers, the Observer to get rid of the Lurkers. Lurkers fall, the Hydras go down, and there's the turnaround that we were expecting at some stage. It took a while to get there. And I would still say this was successful from Denver, right? I mean, Drogo has no tech left over. His Immortals are gone. His Archons are dead. His High Templar don't exist. He has nothing to fight another wave of this apart from pure Zealot, and that's probably going to be his biggest issue at the moment. And remember, if Denver wins one map, he will take 1st place in this group, and that gives him good seeding moving through to the quarter-finals. A few Archons morph in over to this left-hand side here. 4 of them finish up at the moment. A few more Zealots still running around, looking to see where else they can go now. Seeing where they can go again. A few Archons sat in the middle. A few Lings down to the bottom left-hand side. Just going to be seeing these Zals getting intercepted already, though, and again, Drogo just struggling to deal with the lurkers, but he's on his way back up. His High Templar warping in. He's going to start getting energy. His Immortal count is rebuilding, and Archons are already up. Zealots in the main base, this is the sort of thing that buys Drogo a lot of time to be able to stay in this game until a later point where he has that tech back up, where he's able to really fight against lurker armies once again. This is actually pretty nicely done, though, by Denver. Defends the third base, defends the natural. There's lurkers on the fourth. Oh my god, there's no detection with these Archons and Zealots. Oh, there it is. The Observer's finally coming on through, but it takes a while. So those lurkers, they'll go down, but now these Archons are definitely in some trouble. He lifts up 2 of them. He loses Observers, and that's annoying because he's only got 1 Robo, and that means he's got to rebuild Observers once again for detection. He'll actually build an Oracle. Oracle is a fantastic response right now because it saves him a bit of build time on the Robo where he wants to be building Immortals, but also it is just guaranteed detection throughout an entire fight. If you hit the Revelation on the Lurkers, boom, you don't have to worry about your Observers being targeted anymore because you're going to see the Lurkers throughout the fight anyways. Archons are doing good damage here, and it will take a couple of Hydras coming back home to deal with this, although one of those Hydras goes down very quickly. Can he save it? Oh, just not quite able to save the Archon. Lings and Hydras coming across here. A couple of lurkers in tow. Where is the army from Drogo? Well, he definitely does have some storms available. An Immortal initially runs out in towards the Lings. That's not a great start. Again, this is actually so heavily reliant on storms here. First 2 storms are good warding storms, but then, I mean, again, an Archon's just out on its own. Immortals need to try and get themselves the lurker kill, which they will, but there's even more lurkers, and the extra storms coming down are really good on top of the Hydras. I mean, it does so much damage. It's just not quite enough here, as we're going to be seeing these Hydras continue to push on through this. The Lings breaking through into the natural, doing some more damage as well, and this really looks as though it's going to be just about GG's in game number 2. As Denver is continuing to pick his way through all of this. The natural taking some more damage as well. We're going to be seeing push over to the right-hand side, doing even more. So that's GG. Denver takes game 2, and we are tied up. This is Denver. At this point, Denver is guaranteed first place in the group. Drogo can still kind of fight here for third place. Again, this doesn't really matter though too much overall, just a couple of OSC points on the line from Drogo's perspective, but Denver is already guaranteed first. So, one final map here to wrap us up today. Again, I think we're going to cast at least one of the series from replays. One of the other series that we didn't get to see. I think it'd be cool to see a little bit more action. And that should give me enough time to kind of get home, eat, and then come back for base trade still. So, that should be all good in that regard as we get set up here to the top right-hand side. PtitDrogo from Mind Sandy. And down at the bottom left, the purple Zerg player from Romantic Gaming is Denver. Nexus on the way up, Cybercore on the way up. And we are going to be seeing a couple drones coming over, Lings and Queens coming through. And we're set up here into game number 3. So again, if we don't cast all of the games that were played today from replays, then what we will probably do is take them to another day. It just gives us an extra day of content, basically, which is, I mean, from my point of view, thumbs up and all good in my eyes. And yeah, looking forward to that at least. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun actually. So you know, we'll cast them at some point. I mean, obviously it's not ideal casting games from replays that are a few days old, but we want to show you guys the action at some point. And you know, again today it's a very busy day because I have to cast. You know, now Nation Wars is about to go live. Plus I'm casting Base Trade TV Star League later. And believe it or not, at some point I do have to eat. You know, I have these human functions that the rest of you do as well. You know, having to eat food and, you know, stuff like that. It's crazy, I know. Hatchery here, spotted by the Adept. The Lings are working away at these rocks already. Just shut down kind of aggression through this direction at the very least. So, we're going to shut that down as the Adept picking up some more information. In towards the main, he even commits to this shade. Ooh, sneaky. He's not really going to be able to do much here, and he should just be shading out in a moment. But just didn't see any Zerglings just yet, so sort of feels as though he can do this, and, you know, maybe he gets a drone kill, but good Spore Crawler placement is able to kind of keep that alive. Targets a Ling down instead, which is a guaranteed kill, even though it's not as important as a drone. It's something, and obviously if Denver's on point there, he should never really lose a drone, because he can just build a Spore Crawler every single time. One Adept just isn't good enough. That's coming back home. Second Adept is here, but didn't come across the map here on Eastwatch. It's a very large map. It's a map which is difficult to move across, I suppose, as a, you know, from the point of view of a Protoss player. So I guess the second Adept is staying at home, so he's not on the map as much if he has to come back. A Robo and a Twilight coming down. It's again a Robo first, so we'll see what the plan may be. Maybe something like a fast Immortal, 2 Immortals and a Prism in towards like a Glaive-based kind of follow-up to kind of make a big, large 2-base attack. A couple of possibilities here from Drogo. He adds on 3 more gates already. This isn't a Dark Shrine, though, for Archons, because it's just a little bit too late of a Twilight Council. If it was Dark Shrine, it's Twilight, then Robo. Unless it's just a later Dark Shrine, which could be weird. We'll see what comes out of the Robo facility. I mean, he's got the gas for an Immortal. It's going to be a Prism initially. What is it on the Twilight? I mean, again, it could still just be, I guess, a Temple Archives for the Archons. And then going in towards Charge. Also a possibility here, and it is just Charge, and there's the Temple Archives as well. So it's just Charge and Archons. Okay then, fast Prism though. And that's going to be coming across the map in the next few moments as we get this set to go. And we are going to be seeing the Phoenix and the Oracle heading back towards the upper right side. Let's go with Denver, says CB, after thanking Port for the sub-gift. Yeah, let's go Denver. Do let me know who you're cheering on in the chat, guys. It's always fun to see if you're cheering on, you know, one of the two players in particular. I always like to see a little bit of chat interaction, as we do have the French matchup here. Two French players. We are going to be seeing a French player tomorrow as well. DNS will come into play in Group B. That Group B will be starting at 3 PM CEST, a couple hours later than today, but it's going to be DNS, Nurture, Alive, Blind Cast, and that's a group which honestly I don't even want to begin predicting because it can go in so many different ways. It's I'm kind of excited to see what happens, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that as we see a couple of Spine Crawlers and some Roaches currently on the way up. And we get this established here early on. Denver just getting ready to defend, but Drogo never cut pro production. He's not getting aggressive at all. Yes, a couple of Archons in the main, but he's not actually being, you know, truly aggressive, right? Queen's taking some damage, and they're not going to go down because Roaches are coming in now, and then Prism doesn't want to go that far forwards next to a Spore Crawler and within Queen range would be a disaster. But yeah, Drogo's not looking to really commit heavily to an attack beyond, you know, a little bit of harassment, so starting up spines, etc., it might be a bit overkill, and it really is keeping Drogo already 54 to 58 pro workers. He's looking good right now, going into +1 attack, you know, he's going in towards, you know, Temple Archives is obviously up, he doesn't need other upgrades off the Twilight. You know, Drogo can just build up into his, you know, into his kind of real mid-game army now as these Archons coming back in, avoiding the Spore Crawler of the Prism, but unfortunately not quite able to get many kills at all. Good defense again still by Denver. A drone will go down here, but that is pretty much all the damage gained. Denver, really good defense against Drogo right now. Very, very solid stuff. As we are going to be seeing this Prism coming back up towards the center. And 10 more Roaches on the way out for Denver. He has a couple of Archons will drop down. And they will be able to get themselves a Creep Tumor, which obviously, again, it's something to slow the Zerg down, even if just by a tiny little amount. We're going to be seeing this 4 factories now on the way up in the center of the map. Now we are going to be seeing a couple of shield batteries are on the way up as well here from Drogo. We're going to be seeing the Stasis Wards continue to come on through, and as they get set up themselves, still a lot more Roaches and Ravagers getting ready to rumble, as you're going to be seeing one Roach going down already. Well, he's actually got a couple of Archons coming back. Oh my god. Stasis of the Century. That is going to catch so many of these Roaches, and that is going to obviously make the rest of these reinforcements of Denver be in a little bit of trouble. Now, of course, Drogo still has to be back over there to deal with that at some stage. Corrosive Balance hits the Oracle. Now Drogo has to come back. He has to get ready to catch these Roaches, fight them, surround them. Denver's going to come in and try and fight it to try and get away with some of these Roaches, but it doesn't quite happen. A lot more of these Roaches continue to go down. Archons and Immortals coming through, and they are going to shut down some more of those Roaches as well. Lots of damage being dealt here as Denver continues to run away through the center of the map. And we are just going to be seeing, again, another few Zealots loading back up from Drogo, and just continue to move around to see what else he can get up to. +2 attack on the Forge here now from Drogo. Continue to come through with that. I mean, killing off so many of those Roaches, though, a fantastic moment or so. And Drogo definitely going to be feeling pretty good in this game. Interesting that he never shut down these rocks. Obviously, maybe didn't feel as though he had time to, or maybe just didn't feel the need to. We'll see if he's going to regret that in a moment or so, because these Roaches do approach. Let's see what Drogo gets up to now. He hasn't seen these Roaches just yet. He'll see them for the first time right now as he takes the 4th base out the gold. So Drogo has to back on over here, and it's not going to be immediately easy. He's going to start killing off those rocks for a moment with the Templar, but maybe now he targets the rocks down to stop these units from getting away, and that may be his plan, just to trap them in. And he will get a couple of Roaches squished there by the rocks, one of them even. And just a couple of kills, but now Denver on the left-hand side will get a cancel on the 4th base. Drogo needs to cancel. There we go. Cancels in the end. I feel as though Denver might have gotten the kill if he targeted it a bit sooner. Either way, this is going to be a cancel, and Drogo kept away from a 4th, but overall, again, not really much damage taken as we see Zealots into the main. They're getting a few drones, but also some Hydralisks, obviously very important units to keep alive for Denver. Very expensive units if you don't want to keep them alive. And that's Nicely done here, as you're going to be seeing Drogo is pushed away from the main and is just instead going to be coming back up through the center of the map. And again, I mean, he's got this warp prism, he's warping in a few more Archons and Zealots. It looks as though he's committing into a larger fight now. A few more Hydras on the way up, plus 2 missile attackers coming down on the Evolution Chamber as well. Muscular Augments coming in on the Hydralisk Den. We are going to be seeing these Zealots, Immortals and Archons working their way through the rocks, and as those rocks get taken down, a little bit of access is gained in towards this 4th base potentially. Across the map, some roaches are getting caught up together. First storm comes down. The second storm comes down as well. A lot of storms coming down. Really, really good stuff so far here, as we're going to be seeing the storms continue to zone away Hydras, and that's the biggest issue. If you can't bring your actual army into position, it's troublesome for Denver, but now the storms are gone. He hits a few corrosive bars. The Warp Prism is late to the party with the Zealot reinforcements. Nice save on that Archon, super low HP. The Immortals are carrying him through here at the moment. Top left side is going to be the gold base being taken down again, but does that matter? He's gotten rid of the 4th base here. This 4th base to the upper left isn't ready yet, and I think Drogo might have just done enough to break on through this. Again, this will just secure Drogo maybe 3rd place in this group rather than 4th place, which is, again, not enough to get out of the group, but it is enough to, again, secure a few extra OSC points for the OSC League, one of our partners of this tournament. As we see, ooh, maybe Drogo a bit too far forward. 2 more Immortals arriving, as he just lost a couple, though, and he doesn't really have much left over. Suddenly Denver pushing through. He's going to be able to continue shutting down those Immortals. Prism gets shut down too, and those Immortals in trouble. Drogo has just suddenly lost everything. Wow. What an absolute disaster in the last couple of moments, as we are going to be seeing those Hydras pushing through, and an Immortal grabs himself a Hydra kill there. There's another Immortal going down. Rocks do get locked out, and we do see Drogo. 3 bases. Yes, he kept the Zerg down to 3 bases himself, but now Denver has a 4th base up and finished. And Drogo just lost all of his Immortals, even 2 of his reinforcing Immortals. Okay, he's got 4 out now and 7 High Templar, but nothing to back them up. Drogo, very reliant on storms at the moment to be able to make this work out. Another couple High Templar, some more Zealots coming through. Let's see if it's going to be enough. The storms have to be amazing here, otherwise Drogo is going to be finding himself in a world of pain. The Observer going into Observer mode. Oh my god, those Hydras on hold position. Apparently they like the rain, although I don't think Denver will be too happy with them for that, because that's a lot of damage just tanked there by that initial storm, and they didn't even automatically like spread out against it. Just power to the storm. Nice little cloud that Drogo summoned, as he's going to try and take the 4th base and the gold base once again. So we're going to be seeing the gold is setting up the 4th to the top side, and I mean, this is what, the 3rd, 4th time Drogo's tried to take this. Denver has been so good at shutting this down throughout the game so far. We do see an Overlord, a Drop Lord coming up, so Denver going to maybe try and change things up himself, a little bit of aggression around the map. I don't know if I would have liked maybe a couple of Lurkers instead. I guess there's a good amount of cannons around, so it's not going to be massively effective. Obviously, the Lurkers coming into play in general, though, will allow now for Drogo to have a bit of a rougher time when it comes to trying to clean up these armies, unless the Lurkers just move command into his army. Now they burrow, but Drogo's not going to take a fight where he has to run through the choke point still. That's obviously just asking for a disaster to happen, right? Storm misses everything as well. At least this time Drogo has no pressure on his 4th base. He's actually getting this one on its way, although now it looks as though Denver, he's realizing that may be the case. He's going to come up here, and this is going to be yet again a kill on the 4th, because I mean, what are you going to do as Drogo? Yes, you can cancel, but that's pretty much all you can do, because now he has to push through this choke point in towards Lurkers, and well, how much does he want to save this base? Is it worth fighting into the Lurkers for? I don't think it is. I think or maybe he just goes for it because he feels as though it's his way to kind of maybe do something. He's going to drop the 1st storm, which is nice. The Immortal's actually getting damage done. The Lurker count is not really there anymore. There's only a couple of Lurkers left. Wow. This army of Denver just disappears. Storms and Immortals combined, they're pretty powerful. He did lose all of his High Templar apart from a couple. One of them stays alive and the other one morphs into an Archon. 15 probes go down in the meantime, though. That Hydra drop actually found a huge bunch of damage there. 15 workers is a lot. Obviously some of that was on the gold base too. Prism back in play on the south side, but looks as though it got killed off, and now the Zealots will not find much more damage themselves. 5th base from Denver coming in a more kind of centralized position. Army supplies leading for Drogo, though. If he can make a fight happen in the next couple of minutes, maybe he can make something happen, but he really needs something, because again, without the gold base 4th up, he is completely missing out on extra oh, well, he actually has it. I completely forgot he actually kept this alive during the fight. Obviously, that makes a big difference now for Drogo. That makes a massive difference for Drogo in terms of what he can do from this point on. Oh, well, that really does maybe change everything here, as we're going to be seeing some Zealots charging down for a couple of lane kills, 3 more drones. being picked away at as well. So Drogo finding himself some of his own damage. Yeah, having the gold base up is something he really, really needed. I mean, not even necessarily the gold, just a 4th base in general. But obviously the gold is an even bigger benefit, so now his economy is good moving forwards. As his army moves forwards as well, let's see if he can find a fight here to maybe keep on closing out this game in his favor and winning out on this series. Just going to be seeing Stalkers firing away at a Hydra or so, and we are going to still see this army coming down towards the lower left side. A couple of extractors left on this base from earlier, as a few drones apparently. They didn't get the memo that this base had been shut down from functioning. It's been closed for a little while. Drones shouldn't have been here, and you got punished for it. As you're all going to be seeing Drogo looking for this 5th base now, and he finds it. And the 5th base obviously is not really a defendable position for Denver. He's attacking across the map with a lot of Hydras and a couple of Lurkers. Drogo looking for the Storms, doesn't find it, maybe just happy with the 5th. Maybe even has to just recall here to kind of deal with this, and he will recall. Lurkers and Burrows, they're not going to get a couple of shots off for free. And we are going to see a High Templar looking for the Storm on the tail end, but it really is only on the tail end. Tough for a High Templar to kind of keep up with units like that, as well, it's a nice recall, but suddenly Denver realizes if your army's over there, guess what isn't over here? Units on the gold base. Drogo realizes it pretty quickly, though. He's already running in. He's actually going to end up taking the fight this time around. Immortal's obviously going to want to try and tank a little bit against the Lurkers. He forces the lift up, but now Denver dives back in with this army over here. More damage being done. I mean, now Drogo probably loses his natural, and this time he doesn't have a recall open to him to get back home and defend. So this time the Nexus will fall. And how much more damage can Denver do with this? An Archon leading the charge, gets a Lurker but takes its life. A little bit of Drogo's army actually did turn around to deal with this then, and it looks as though it'll be enough. The Storm's obviously a big help, so that goes down. Drogo keeping again Denver limited to the 4 bases. His own gold base still alive, so his own 4th base is there. Income tab is showing still a Denver lead as he's 20 workers up, but that will dissipate very soon because the main and natural are continuing to mine out. And as they continue to mine out the 3rd base as well, his worker lead is limited because that the worker advantage doesn't come into play if you don't have the mineral patches to put those workers to work on. Again, going to be seeing Zealots, Immortals, Archons, and High Templar pushing through. It's not an easy attack. The Lurkers get revelated. A couple of them will start to go on down. Couple of them, no, needs a second attack on that Lurker at the front. Storm will get the job done. A lot of the High Templar on the wrong side of a wall at the moment, although he has enough High Templar to cover the scenario for the moment. A couple of observers in the front. There's no detection here from the Zerg, so those observers are completely safe. Storms are absolutely destructive so far, and as the Hydras continue to fall, Drogo just has a little bit too much. Continuing to run on through, continuing to take this down. To the top side, a Lurker drop is causing some chaos, but Drogo is taking down the entire army on this bottom left-hand side. 17.5 minutes in. One hell of a game free for us here, because this now has just about been GG well played. Denver will still finish 1st place in this group, but Drogo is able to take out